Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take a whole stack of sources, articles, books, notes, and really boil them down, giving you the core insights without all the reading time.
Yep, a shortcut to getting informed.
Exactly.
Okay.
So today, we're tackling something that, everyone talks about as key to success. Confidence.
Right. Gotta have confidence.
But what if there's something else, something sneakier lurking underneath, something that can actually sabotage you? We're talking about ego.
That's the focus. We're digging into Ryan Holiday's book, Ego is the Enemy. And he's not really talking about the Freudian ego, ego, superego.
Yeah, it's simpler.
Yeah, much simpler. For Holiday, it's that unhealthy belief in our own importance.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just confidence. It's when that belief gets rigid, fixed.
Like it blinds you.
Exactly. Blinds you to reality, to where you need to improve, maybe blinds you to what other people are trying to tell you. It's confidence turning kind of toxic.
And it can trip you up anywhere, right?
Yeah.
When you're starting out, when you succeed, even when you fail.
Absolutely. At every stage.
So our mission for this deep dive is to pull out the really potent ideas from Holiday. We want to give you a kind of map, show you how ego pops up at these different points.
And crucially, offer some practical wisdom on how to manage it. Maybe even channel it so you can do that meaningful, world-changing work Holiday talks about.
And it feels really grounded because Holiday himself is upfront about this stuff. He admits he's dealt with ego through his whole journey, aspiration, success, failure.
Right. He says when he tells his story, he often leaves out the stomach-turning drops, the mistakes. It makes it feel less like theory and more like, well, real life.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Aspiration. You're ambitious, you're starting out. How does ego creep in then? Holiday kicks off with this idea, the seduction of talk.
Yes. This is so relevant today, isn't it?
Totally. Think about social media. Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever. They're just these blank spaces begging to be filled in, right? With our thoughts, our plans, our stories.
And it feels like you're doing something, building your brand, networking.
Yeah, like progress. But Holiday points out this performance is almost always positive. Look how great I am.
Never. I'm actually terrified right now, or I have no idea what I'm doing.
Right. And that talk, Holiday says, it's a short-term fix with a long-term consequence.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because it drains the energy you need for the actual work. Stephen Pressfield calls it the resistance, right?
Yeah.
That force stopping you from doing the hard stuff. Talking about it gives you a little ego boost, a little satisfaction.
It replaces the satisfaction of actually doing it.
Exactly. It fritters away the energy.
Holiday even admits, back in 2010, his novel was completely stalled for a year. But he was busy, he was tumbling, tweeting, and scrolling, and he actually thought he was working.
Oh, that's painfully relatable. We convince ourselves talking about the thing is the thing.
Now, contrast that with Bo Jackson, incredible athlete.
Amazing.
He decides he wants to win the Heisman
Me?
and get drafted first round in the NFL. Huge goals.
Massive.
Guess who he told?
Oh.
Nobody but his girlfriend.
Hmm.
That's it. Just silence.
Wow. That's restraint. What does that silence protect?
It protects the energy, like you said. Avoids that premature ego hit. It reminds me of General Sherman's rule.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
Never give reasons for what you think or do until you must. Wait. Maybe a better reason will occur to you later.
I like that. Silence gives you flexibility, protects your mental space, keeps you focused on action, not explanation.
Which leads perfectly into this next big choice Holiday talks about, especially for ambitious people starting out. John Boyd's fork in the road.
Ah, Boyd. The fighter pilot strategist, yeah.
He'd ask young officers, you face a choice. Path 1, be somebody. Get the promotions, the fancy assignments, join the club. But you might have to compromise.
Okay, path 1, status. What's path 2?
Path 2, do something. Make a real impact. Stay true to your principles, your friends, but you might not get promoted. You won't be popular with the bosses.
Do something versus be somebody. That's a powerful distinction. Because, as Holiday points out, having authority is not the same as being an authority.
Right. Title versus actual skill.
And impressing people is utterly different from being truly impressive. Boyd saw how systems, even good ones like the military, could get corrupted. People start chasing status.
He saw duty, honor, country kind of get replaced by pride, power, greed, just by chasing the symbols of success instead of the substance.
It's sobering, and Boyd himself lived that choice, didn't he?
Absolutely. Brilliant strategist, transformed warfare, influenced generations of thinkers, never published a book, rarely quoted, retired a colonel. He chose doing over being. His impact was real, tangible, just not flashy. substance over show.
Yeah, and that quiet, dedicated approach ties into the next point. Becoming a student forever.
Right. We hear so much about passion. Follow your passion.
With passion is enough.
But Holiday asks, do you really get how much work is involved? Like work, work, work forever and ever? It doesn't stop.
And that's where ego gets you, right? Because if you think you've arrived, if you think you know it all,
Then you can't learn. Epictetus. It is impossible to learn that which one thinks one already knows.
so true. How do you fight that?
Well, Holiday mentions Frank Shamrock, the MMA fighter. He had this system, plus, minus, and equal.
Okay, what's that?
Every fighter, Shamrock said, needs someone better to learn from. Plus, someone lesser to teach, minus, which forces you to clarify your own understanding and someone equal to challenge you.
Ah, I see. It forces humility. You're always learning, always teaching, always testing yourself. It keeps the ego in check because you're constantly getting feedback.
Yeah, it turns humility into a tool, like being a sponge. Think about John Wooden, the UCLA coach.
Legendary. But not flashy.
No, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar called him dispassionate. No big rah-rah speeches. He focused on a meticulous system for winning, control, details.
Like if you handle the small stuff.
The score takes care of itself. It was about continuous improvement, almost scientific, not just bursts of emotion.
That quiet, steady work. It links to this next strategy, the canvas strategy. Sounds intriguing.
It is. It comes from this Roman idea, the anti-envelope. Literally, one who clears the path.
Clearing the path for someone else like an assistant.
Sort of. But the strategy is about helping yourself by helping others and, crucially, letting them get the credit.
Whoa. Okay, that's counterintuitive. Embrace the grunt work. Be glad when others get praised. Trade short-term ego boosts for a longer-term win. How does that actually work?
It lets you learn from the inside, build relationships, become indispensable without the spotlight on you. Think about young Ben Franklin.
Okay.
He wrote these amazing letters anonymously under names like Silence Dogwood. They got super popular. But the credit went to his brother, the printer.
So Franklin was learning, honing his craft, understanding public opinion, all while someone else got the applause. Playing the long game.
Exactly. And Bill Belichick, the Patriots coach.
Right. How did he start?
He mastered film analysis, the boring job nobody wanted, volunteered, did it for free sometimes. His insights made senior coaches look good. He got the skills, they got the credit initially. He made himself essential by clearing their path.
Okay, I get it. Be useful, be quiet, learn. Let the credit fall where it may for now.
Right. But this path requires something else too, especially when things get tough. The power of restraint.
Ah, because your ego screams, right? This is unfair. I'm better than this. I deserve more.
Constantly, especially when you face setbacks or even sabotage. The question is, how much nonsense, as Holiday puts it, are you willing to deal with to reach your goal?
Because sometimes the goal is just that important.
Exactly. You have to take it, eat it until you're sick, endure it quietly. It's about resilience, not reacting emotionally, keeping your eye on the real prize.
Restraint is tough, a critical skill, though.
The ultimate example here has to be Jackie Robinson.
Oh, absolutely.
Branch Rickey asks him basically, can you handle unbelievable abuse without fighting back?
Yeah.
He needed Robinson to have the guts not to fight back.
Robinson, who had fought back against injustice before, agreed.
Yeah. He endured being hit by pitches, racial slurs, spitting, everything. Even posed for a photo with a manager who'd just been screaming racist insults at him.
All for the larger plan, integrating baseball. He put his ego, his pride, his completely justified anger aside for something bigger.
It's just an incredible testament to focused, disciplined restraint, putting the mission above the self.
Okay, so you navigate aspiration. Maybe you even achieve some success. But the ego danger isn't over, is it?
Not at all. It just morphs. Let's talk about avoiding your own narrative.
The stories we tell ourselves.
Exactly. It's human nature, right? To look back and make success seem like this perfectly planned out story.
Yeah.
I always knew.
When reality is usually messy, lots of luck, accidents, hard pivots.
And Holiday warns, this writing our own narrative leads to arrogance. We start believing our own hype, thinking we have powers we don't really control.
Right, we become caricatures of ourselves. We think we're geniuses when maybe we just worked hard and got a bit lucky.
Bill Walsh, the 49ers coach, after winning the Super Bowl way faster than expected, refused to claim some grand vision.
What did he credit then?
His standard of performance. These super meticulous, almost trivial details, shirts tucked in, practices time to the second. He believed if players handled the details.
The score takes care of itself. Facts over narrative, hard work over heroic stories.
Yeah, and look at Google's founders. Their first projects were small, practical, not, we're going to change the world. from day one.
Paul Graham's advice, right? Start with deceptively small things. Build step by step. Let the work lead. Don't force a grand narrative onto it.
But when you do start believing that narrative, believing you're special, you risk catching the disease of me.
Pat Riley's term. From basketball, what happens there?
Riley saw that after a team wins, after that initial innocent climb together, individuals start thinking about their importance. How much am I contributing? Do I deserve more credit? Their chests swell, he said.
Ah, so the collective focus fractures. It becomes about individual egos.
And that ego-driven thinking, it causes conflict. It can sink amazing teams, great causes. People start thinking, we're special. Our problems are unique. They stop listening.
It's the team unraveling from the inside because of ego.
A rare counterexample Holiday gives is General George Marshall during World War II.
Chief of staff. Immense power.
Exactly. And Roosevelt basically offers him the command of D-Day, the biggest, most prestigious command.
Wow. What did Marshall say?
He told Roosevelt essentially, my personal wishes don't matter here. He recommended Eisenhower instead, putting the mission first. He never thought about himself.
That's incredible selflessness at that level. He even turned down honors, avoided portraits.
Yeah. In a world where ego could easily run wild, he showed that integrity, true humility, is the real strength.
Okay, so you manage the narrative, you fight the disease of me, but then ego whispers something else, more.
Ah, yes, the endless pursuit of more. Ego hates trade-offs, right? It wants everything.
So you achieve something great, but it's not enough. You need more money, more fame, more stuff when you don't even know how much you need.
Where does that come from? Is it just greed?
Holiday suggests it's often deeper, like insecurity. It pulls your energy away from what you're actually good at, what truly matters, chasing these ghosts. Like Captain Ahab hunting Moby Dick.
For reasons you don't even remember anymore, just consumed by the chase.
Right. Think about Ulysses S. Grant after his presidency. Huge achievements behind him.
General, president, yeah.
Yeah, but he got obsessed with trying to rival the millionaires, made terrible investments, ended up financially ruined, chasing something unrelated to his real strengths.
Or Howard Hughes.
Oh, boy. The spruce goose.
Right. This giant plane cost millions, flew for like a mile, then sat in a hangar costing a fortune every year. It wasn't about aviation. It was pure ego.
Harold Gene, the old ITT CEO, called egotism the worst disease for executives because it just blinds them to reality.
Right.
Leads to these wasteful, self-destructive chases.
So how do you stop chasing more external stuff?
By maintaining your own scorecard? Stop relying on what the world tells you. Look inward.
Focus on your own standards.
Exactly. Internal metrics. Continually raising your own bar. Not out of greed, but for real improvement. It might feel like self-inflicted torture sometimes, Holiday says, but it forces growth and keeps you grounded.
It's about your own definition of success, not the world's, like the New England Patriots.
After drafting Tom Brady 199th.
Yeah, he becomes an MVP, wins Super Bowls. You'd think they'd be patting themselves on the back, right?
You would?
But their personnel director, Scott Pioli, still felt it was more lucky than smart. He kept a photo on his desk.
Of Brady?
No. Of a failed fifth-round draft pick. As a reminder.
Wow. What was the message?
Basically, you're not that good. You haven't figured it all out. Stay focused. Keep working. Do better. Internal scorecard. Constant drive. Never resting on success. Okay, let's shift gears. Ego in failure. This is where it can get really ugly, but maybe also where the biggest lessons are.
Definitely. When things go wrong, when you hit a wall, or life just throws you into a situation you didn't choose, how do you react?
That's the core of this idea. Alive time or dead time.
Right. Robert Greene's concept, dead time, is when you're just passive, waiting, complaining, letting circumstances crush you.
And alive time.
That's when you use every second. You learn, you act, you improve yourself or your situation despite the circumstances. Failure, setbacks, they become fuel.
You turn the negative into something useful.
Exactly. Transform it into fuel for unique greatness. Every moment, even the bad ones, offers that choice.
The example here is powerful. Malcolm X in prison.
Yeah. He could have just done his time, right? Dead time.
But he chose alive time. He taught himself to read using a dictionary, copy the whole thing out longhand.
Wow.
He devoured books on history, philosophy, religion.
Wow.
Turned prison into his university. He even said later he'd never felt so truly free in his life as when he was locked up, but learning intensely.
He didn't just endure it, he redeemed that time. Transcended the physical bars through mental effort.
Which connects to this next point. The effort is enough.
This is tough because we're wired to want rewards, right? Recognition for our hard work.
Totally. But what if it doesn't come? What if someone else takes the credit or you get sabotaged?
The hard truth is we control the effort, not the outcome or the applause. So Holiday argues you have to detach from external validation, redefine success internally.
Like John Wooden's definition.
Exactly. Success is peace of mind, which is a direct result of self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to do your best, to become the best that you are capable of becoming. It's about your effort, your knowledge. You did your best.
Marcus Aurelius said something similar, didn't he? Tie your well-being to your own actions, not to things outside your control. That's sanity.
Right. Think about Belisarius, the Byzantine general.
Won amazing victories.
But his emperor was paranoid. Stripped him of wealth, undermined him constantly, never got the appreciation he deserved.
And his reaction.
He just kept doing his job, never complained. He accepted the deal. His reward was internal, knowing he did the right thing. His well-being wasn't tied to the emperor's approval.
That's inner strength. Contrast that with, say, John Kennedy Toole.
Oh, tragic story. A confederacy of dunces.
Masterpiece,
Yeah.
right. But every publisher rejected it.
And it broke him. He ended his life.
Years later, his mother gets it published, wins the Pulitzer Prize. The book didn't change, only the external validation did.
It's a brutal illustration of the danger of tying your whole self-worth to what other people think. The effort, the work itself has to be enough somehow.
Okay, but when failure does hit, especially publicly, ego often reacts really badly.
Right.
Denial, blame.
Oh, yeah. Leading to self-injury to every injury, as Holiday puts it. This is about facing the truth and stopping the digging.
Stop making it worse.
Exactly. That denial, that blaming, it comes from a fragile ego, a fear of taking responsibility. But failure often exposes truths we kind of already knew about ourselves but didn't want to admit.
So the challenge is just to stop. Acknowledge it. Don't double down.
Right? Make a full stop. But ego hates that. Look at Howard Hughes again.
Later in his life.
Yeah, total mental breakdown, this deranged crime spree of business failures. It was like he was creating losses with the same energy he used to create profits. Couldn't face reality.
Or Dov Charney from American Apparel. Company's failing, they offer him a consultant role to help save it.
And his ego couldn't take it. He rejected it, sued them, gambled his ownership, lost everything, kept digging.
John DeLorean, too. Car company failing.
Gets involved in a drug deal to raise cash, like
Yeah.
with giddy excitement, apparently. Total desperation driven by ego, refusing to accept failure, dug himself an inescapable hole.
Wow. It's a pattern. But there's a counterexample.
Steve Jobs, famously fired from Apple.
Huge public failure.
Right. And he cried, he fought it, but then he actually seemed to learn from his mistakes, especially his management style.
Went on to build NXT, Pixar.
Exactly. Showed surprising humility for him. He didn't just dig in. He faced the failure, learned, and built something new. Proves it's possible, even after a massive ego blow, if you can stop digging.
Okay, final point under failure. Always love, or at least not hate.
This deals with bitterness, resentment after failure or betrayal. There's this paradox.
The paradox of hate.
Yeah. Trying to destroy something out of spite or ego often backfires. It actually preserves it. Like the Streisand effect, trying to suppress something just draws more attention.
And internally, that hate, that bitterness, it hurts you more, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Holiday quotes Martin Luther King Jr. Love was transformational. Hate was debilitating. King called hate a cancer that gnaws away at the very vital center of your life. It's like an acid eating you from the inside.
Look at William Randolph Hearst trying to kill Citizen Kane.
Went to crazy lengths, right? Banned ads, threatened the whole industry.
Made the film fail commercially at first, but ultimately cemented its place as a classic. And Orson Welles, he lived a full life, apparently without bitterness. Hearst's hate backfired and didn't crush Welles' spirit.
Compare that to Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, kicked out of Metallica early on.
Went on to have huge success with Megadeth.
Massive success, but for decades he was consumed by rage and bitterness towards Metallica. Nearly destroyed him with addiction. The hate was eating him alive despite his own triumphs.
And Frederick Douglass,
Yeah.
facing horrific racism and degradation.
His response was incredible. They cannot degrade Frederick Douglass. The soul that is within me, no man can degrade. He refused to internalize the hate, shifted the burden of shame back onto the oppressor, didn't let bitterness define him.
Wow. Okay, this has been quite a journey through the ways ego can mess us up. Aspiration, success, failure, it's everywhere.
It really is subtle and pervasive, that unhealthy belief in our own importance.
So is there a fix? Can you just get rid of ego?
Probably not permanently. Holiday uses a great metaphor from a friend, Danielle Bolelli, a martial artist. He says managing ego is like sweeping the floor.
Yeah.
You sweep it once, great, but is it clean forever? No, the dust comes back tomorrow.
So you have to sweep again.
Every single day. It's an ongoing and endless process. Consistent daily effort, no magic bullet.
And the cost of not sweeping, of letting that ego dust pile up. It isn't always some huge dramatic implosion, is it?
No. Sometimes it's quieter. Holiday mentions Sammy Glick, the character from What Makes Sammy Run, this hyper-successful Hollywood mogul.
But inside,
Utterly empty. A lonely, empty marriage, his fear, his insecurity, his inability to be still even for a second. A profound internal hollowness, despite all the external success. That can be the real price of unchecked ego.
which is why that constant reflection is key, right? Asking yourself, why am I really doing this? Is it purpose or is it ego whispering in my ear?
That's the vital question. Regularly checking your motivations.
Because ultimately, yeah, it's great to want to be a better professional, a better athlete, whatever. But Holiday argues the no less impressive accomplishment
Is being better people, being happier people, being balanced people, being content people, being humble and selfless people, the internal qualities.
And here's the kicker, the insight that really ties it together for me.
What's that?
Perfecting the personal regularly leads to success as a professional, but rarely the other way around.
Wow. Yeah, so the internal work, managing ego, building humility, self-awareness, that actually fuels the external success more reliably than just chasing wins.
Seems to be the argument. The internal foundation supports the external structure, not the other way around.
Makes sense. The roots support the tree.
So the final thought for you listening, what dust, what ego tendencies will you commit to sweeping up day after day in your own life?
And how might that daily internal sweeping actually free you up, give you the clarity and resilience to achieve those big, ambitious goals you have out there in the world?